Hello, this is Ron Bridges with M4 Connect. Today what we're going to do is we're going to do a PM on this SE706 imperiometric Clark cell sensor, dissolved oxygen electrode, and what that's going to look like is we're going to replace the membrane and refill or replace the electrolyte to get this back up and working. So it's a pretty straightforward thing. What you do need, of course, is a membrane replacement kit. This is what it would be. It's the ZU0564. What you get inside the kit are 4 membranes, an electrolyte bottle, and some spare O-rings, and we'll talk about what those are for. So you can do 4 PMs on a single electrode with this kit. Now, what you need to do in this case is we need to remove the sleeve off the sensor. And all you do is just like that. We'll put the electrode down. And what you have here is an external sleeve, and then you've got the membrane that's down inside. And the way to get the membrane out is just push on it here, and that pops it out. And there you go. So that just came right out of the sleeve. This is the old membrane. So there was a little bit of electrolyte in there. Now you'll notice that I have gloves on, and that's because the electrolyte is basic. It's a pH of 13, so it can irritate your hands, your skin, so the gloves are just to prevent that. So next what I do is I take the electrode without the cap on, and I just wash it with some DI water, clean the cathode off. Okay. And then we'll take this new membrane out here in a second. So the O-ring that I'm talking about is right here. It's hard to see. And that O-ring, if it's damaged, you want to replace that. And that's where this comes in handy. There's a variety of different O-rings for different types of probes, but it will contain one O-ring that you can use to replace the one on the sensor if you see that it's damaged. So just want to make sure you're aware of that. So now we're going to take the new membrane out of its little container. Okay. And all you do is you take the sleeve and you drop the new membrane into it, and then take the bottle of electrolyte, the O2 electrolyte, out of the kit, and just fill to the top of the membrane, not the cap, but the sleeve, just to the top of the membrane. I'll put a little bit more than I needed to, but that's okay. You can't put too much in here, but you definitely can not put enough and cause a problem. So now that it's filled with new electrolyte, I just take a pen and lightly tap the sleeve. And what I'm doing is making sure any air bubbles that were at the bottom of the sleeve come up to the top. So when I put the electrode back in, I don't have any trapped air, which would cause the measurement to drift. So I take the probe and I carefully insert it back into the sleeve and thread it together. Okay. So we've replaced the membrane, we've replaced the electrolyte. Now one of the things you need to make sure you do next is connect it to the Portavo, which I have sitting here, and plug it in. And we're going to do the membrane replacement, and this resets the wear for the membrane. So I hit Menu, Calibration, Membrane Module Replacement, I hit Enter, and then I say yes, and that's it. It's very straightforward. That way the membrane wear is reset back to 0. Now, we would do a calibration next, and that's going to be for a different video, but what I want to make sure you understand is whenever you have a imperiometric Clark cell style DO probe disconnected from a power source for any length of time, you got to make sure you repolarize the sensor. And what that means is you have to connect it to a power source for a period of time. So rule of thumb is leave it connected to the Portavo or transmitter or Memo Suite if you're using Memo Suite for 6 hours. A lot of times what we'll do is we'll recommend that if you're going to do a PM, do it later in the day, do your membrane electrolyte replacement, go and do your membrane reset, and then let it run overnight or connected to power, so the next day you can come in and actually do the calibration. So hopefully this is good information. If anything we can do to help, we certainly want to. Again, thank you for your attention, and there will be a video also for the calibration.